Hello everyone, I'm Daisy. Welcome back to this crochet along. I think most of us have started the back panel. Some of us may have even completed it already. I have just started making the first few rows of the front panel. So here is my front panel. In this video, I will be explaining how to take measurements for calculating the neck opening. Before we get to that, I just wanted to talk a bit about how we will be doing the shaping for the neck. It was decided through a poll that we will be making a round neck for this top, so that's what we're going to go with. Now the front panel is also going to be a square that is the same width as the back panel, but with some shaping for the neckline. Now the front panel is gonna turn out something in this shape. So on the top edge we will have the round neck, and then we will have the two sides and the bottom edge. We will begin the front panel exactly in the same way as we did the back panel, but we can kind of divide it into two parts. So I'm just going to mark the corners for easy reference here. So this represents the corners in each row. So we can divide it into part A and part B. So part A and part B. So part A being the first few rows where we just work like a regular granny square, and part B is the point at which we stop making complete rows and start the neck shaping by making incomplete rows. So part B, we will have 3 complete sides and 1 incomplete side where we will begin shaping for the neck. So in order to do this, there are 2 measurements we're going to require, and that would be, one, we're going to need to know how wide we want the neck opening to be, and the second one is how deep we want the neck opening to be. Let's get our measuring tapes back out again. You need to measure your head circumference as if you're going to make a hat for yourself. So my head circumference is 21 inches. And I am going to divide this number by 3, and I will get 7 inches. So that is how wide the neck opening needs to be. So we will mark this both on the back panel and on the front panel. For how deep we want the neck to be, that also needs to be 7 inches. But I will be reducing it by 1 inch. That is because when we wear the top, it will tend to stretch a little due to the weight of the top. So if I make it exactly 7 inches long, and when the top stretches down, it might go down even up to 8 inches. So I do not want my neckline to be too deep. So I'm going to account for the stretching of the top and reduce 1 inch from the neck depth. So that will give me 6 inches. So you're going to have to do all this with your own head circumference. So you need to, this number, you need to measure it for yourself and do the other calculations based on that. Now I'm going to use my back panel as a reference here to mark my stitches and measure how many stitches and rows I need to shape my neck. At this point we're also going to need some stitch markers, so I'm just going to put them there. Now the first measurement we will be using is this. So we want the neck to be 7 inches wide. So after we finish the front and the back panel, we're going to be joining them like this, front and back. So I will be marking the 7 inches on the back panel also. So first thing I will be doing is, I want to first make sure I lay the back panel as flat as possible without stretching it out. This does not look like a proper square. That edge looks more narrow because of the angle in which my phone stand is in. So I'm just gonna measure and see how many granny blocks or clusters I have in 7 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I have 10 granny clusters in 7 inches. So 7 inches equals 10 granny clusters. So now that I know I need 10 granny clusters for the neck opening, I'm going to mark the 10 granny clusters that are in the center of this row. So I don't know if I already mentioned this earlier, the number of granny clusters in each row will be the same as the number of rows. So what that means is, so this is one of the other sample squares I had made for one of the other videos. On row 6, each side will have 6 granny clusters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's the same with all sides. So this is one of the easiest ways to find out if you've made a mistake or not. Sometimes if you're working a granny square with a single solid color, it can be difficult sometimes to find the center quickly. So the easiest way to find out how many rows you've made is by counting the number of granny clusters in the last row. So since I have 28 rows, I know that this edge has, this last row, this side has 28 clusters. So if I want to mark off the 10 clusters in the center, I will have to mark 9 clusters on each side and 10 in the center. So that's what I'm gonna do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me mark that. And do the same on the opposite side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There. So now I have 10 clusters in the middle. Let me just check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So yes. So the thing is, I have 10 clusters in this portion based on my gauge and my calculations. You will have to recalculate this based on your gauge and your calculations. So now that we have the width marked out, the next thing we want to mark is the depth. So this is important because we need to know how many rows do we keep making in part A until we stop and start doing the neck shaping for part B. So that is why we need to know this measurement. So I've decided I want it to be 6 inches deep. So let me take my measuring tape again. I'm gonna measure from this edge. And I'm approximately here. Let me just make sure I'm keeping my measuring tape straight. Excuse me. So since each stripe is 2 rows, I'm just going to count how many stripes I have. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. So 8 stripes is going to give me 16 rows. So I need my neck to be 16 rows deep. So in case you do not have clear stripes like this and you are just counting on a solid color, for example, take care not to skip any of the rows. So if you're counting only the granny blocks, you will be skipping one row because you need to count the spaces as well. So you'll have to go 1 2 3 4 5. Otherwise you might accidentally count the wrong number of rows. So for 6 inches deep, I need to mark off row number 16. So 1 2 3. So that would be the second yellow stripe from the edge. I'm just gonna go ahead and mark this so that I remember that row number. So that'll be a visual reminder for me. So let me make note of that as well. So the neck depth. So 6. Oops, it's out of the camera. The 6 inches is gonna be 16 rows. Like I already mentioned earlier, the total number of rows for the back panel and the front panel are going to be exactly the same because we need them to be the same width. So now we just need to decide how many rows is going to be part A and how many rows are going to be part B. Alright, so my back panel had 28 rows, so I know the total number of rows is going to be 28 rows. And this 6 inches, that is this, that's the depth. So that is the number of rows I need in part B. So I need part B to be 16 rows, and I'm just going to subtract this so that I can find the number of rows I need in part A. And that is going to be 12 rows. So this was going to be a different number of rows and a different number of clusters for all of us. So the primary goal of this video is to show you how to calculate the number of rows required for part A. I hope this calculation was clear. Please go through the video a couple more times. In case you still have any questions, do post them on our WhatsApp group or leave it in the comment section. So please start working on part A of the front panel exactly like the back panel. You just need to make only so many number of rows. So this number of rows, all these numbers where I'm putting the stars, they're going to be different for each one of us. So that's why I have these stars there. So it's going to be different. These are all based on my calculations. So you need to recalculate all of this based on your measurements and the size of your back panel. So once you get this number, you should now be able to start working on your front panel. And while you guys are working on part A, I'm going to go ahead and start part B and get the video ready for that. Until then, bye.